check. Checking my audio. Check my audio. Check my audio. Check my audio. Okay. Alright, so part 2, I suppose, of Disco Elysium. Last time I woke up, I thought I was doing pretty well, but then I messed up a roll, because this is like a role-playing game, and then I flipped off and fell against the wheelchair lady, and I didn't die at that point, but then came up to a youth. It was very mouthy, and then I got so distraught by just my own inadequacies that I quit my job and the game ended there. Okay, and that was all within an hour, so great first impression. There is a continue function, so let's see where it left us. Okay, alright, we're right before it looks like we were going to interact with that guy. Alrighty, I double check.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it.
Alright, that's still locked. So we did all that. We were fully dressed up. So I think this time, at least to the partner dude, I want to see what happens if I'm honest. Let's talk to him first.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance. Then everything is cool between you and this guy. He's a big fan. Make some small talk.
Look at the stuffed bird.
A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. This is the Great Skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola, the part of the world you are in right now. The small steel tag says as much. The Great Skua. Stegoarius Skua.
What happened to the bird?
Look, your buddy is over there.
He looks at the door where the man in the bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor.
Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
What do you mean, my buddy?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead. A competent work of looks like the bird. This is the Great Scoop. The small steel tag says as much.
Can I help you with that?
Look, why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
Alright, understood. Ready? So for electric engine juicer for the kitchen. That.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
Alright, so we gotta talk to him.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Look, as you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. On the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi.
You realize he's waiting for your name.
I might keep it so that I don't reveal still. I kind of feel that.
Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon. But
Okay, it looks like we had a little skid.
what he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So, the body is still in the tree, where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
Okay. So I did all this before.
After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I advise you to try to locate it as quickly as possible, but getting the body down should still take precedence.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
Okay. So let's see if we can have her on our team, because I know that was an option.
Hello.
Wait, who's...
Why, you are, officer. You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
Thanks, I
You must
appreciate it.
forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
Her eyes glisten over the rims of her glasses as she looks up
This
smiling.
Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Nah.
Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
The man with the
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining... Right.
No, I only just...
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Okay.
This sounds
Got
like
that
something
call.
you can use to call this Sylvie later.
You said you just got here,
What, of Martinez?
but you still know your...
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yada,
imply
yada.
that.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound... Ask him about the body's location before asking if he killed him. People give up information in the more innocuous question.
Behind this building, there's a court. That's easy. See that?
This man
Okay.
means the heavy cavalry of the innocents Franco Negro, sweeping over the plains and nations of the enemies of mankind, 5th century style.
I don't know who killed him. I'm not...
This is it. He said they...
Oh, people are saying it was the Union doc... The locals, customers, the people who...
Did the debarders themselves tell her this, or is it...
I don't really know. I would suppose it's because they have...
You mean the strike?
Yes, the
Okay, yada
strike.
yada.
The man they hanged was a security... What are you, crazy? Of course...
The lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook he's been scribbling in.
She went away because none...
Have they not been telling you you're a cop?
Okay, you got me.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt a... Good for you. Was there something...
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
Da, da, da. Do I want to try this again? Let's try it again. Nope. Okay.
That's true. Yes. And it's worrying.
Watch out!
Alrighty.
Everything
Alright,
goes
we had...
back.
Yeah, yada, yada,
It
yada.
doesn't look like it is, sweetie. Are you okay?
No. You have sustained a trauma to your low...
The chair...
Are you sure, man?
Yes.
Sir, the drinks are...
He's shaken. Barter now, and he'll cave in.
Okay, fine. I'll take it off your bill. Don't thank me, and for God's sake, watch out for yourself.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure. But you've been at this hospital. You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like... You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
Okay, got that eternalize going. Right, let's get it moving on. So we didn't talk to this guy.
A colourful piece on the counter rolled out of his open hand. You see a blister pack of headache medicine. It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied. There is only one way to wake this bone idol from his slumber. Roar like a hurricane. Rip the buildings from the earth.
Why the yelling, man?
The 30-something man slowly lifts his head, gives you a pencil.
Looks like a Sao descendant. A lot of Sao dock workers around.
Let's see. You're right, alive? You looked out long for the long count
Wait.
there.
What? I was just sleeping. What do you want, officer? Yeah, what about
Nothing.
it?
I'm just trying to find out what you know about
You
it.
know, people die here every day. Someone's found in a ditch, another one falls in a manhole, a third one gets eaten by stray dogs. If someone has decided to die on top of a tree, then how is it my concern?
Looks like someone has to look into it. Someone looks like I'm that someone. Tell me what you know.
I can tell you this. Trouble's ahead.
What trouble?
You heard what I said. Draw your own conclusions. That's all I know, and I prefer to keep it this way.
The lieutenant gives you a little nod, then makes a note in his blue notebook.
Okay. Tell me about White Pines.
That's the name of my employer. I work in logistics.
How's that going?
How's it going?
Dock worker lets out a big yawn and stares at the cafeteria's terrace doors. Some fingerprints glisten on the glass.
Haven't you noticed what's going on outside?
Of course, it's a total madhouse.
Good. Then you understand the gist of it. We would all be better off without the employers and their employment. For one, I could get some goddamn shut-eye. Right to sleep, I say.
Why are you sleeping here while others are out striking?
They got it. Majorette's got it. He's guarding the gate. I'm just getting some sleep. Or was.
Who's been organizing the strike?
We are. The workers. The union. We know what we need. What's right for us.
You mean there's no leader?
Okay. I guess there's also Everard. He's in charge of the union. He's smart.
Everard.
Knows how to negotiate. He's got our back.
Okay. Right, I'll let
The
you
dock
sleep.
worker doesn't answer. His head is already back down on the table, in sweet sleep.
Yes?
Let's see here. Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Well, okay,
I'm
that's...
relieved that you agree.
He says, then pauses.
Anyhow, let's get back to the case. Was there anything else you wanted to know? Good.
You know, I think I need to tell him. This last time I didn't, and well, just I know from the fan art I've seen, this guy is kind of has this dude's back a bit. So, you know what? Frick it. I feel like you're the only person I'm going to be able to trust in this game.
No response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Ah, forget it.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
Alright.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
2 hours?
An hour would have been bad. 2 hours is mystical. You have truly wiped out all trace of yourself if you haven't thought about rum and lemonade yet.
So yeah, and scarcely. Actually, I should be. Should I be thinking? It looks like drinking hasn't turned out too well for me.
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade to yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that stain off the counter.
Don't lick it.
What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your boring normal person drink then. Get your drink on and your act together.
No. Abstinence. Of drinking, I mean. We came to her. We need her gloves.
The RCM in Martinez. We don't see a lot of police around here. That's all. Of course. What can I help you with? Me?
She hides it well, but behind the sweat and dirt there is something else.
I am pleased to... Of course. Where to? Oh, that's right there.
Even all the way over here, there's a drop of death in the spring air.
No problem.
She's very well composed. Back straight.
Of course. I won't hold...
If there's a corpse, then you're...
Sure.
Okay, got the gloves. Got my gloves on. There's bottles inside. You can pick them up if you had a bag. Where this ain't gonna be. Suppose a spoiled meat and curdled dairy, human being decomposing.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Let's see what kind of boots. Visual calculus medium, get the exact count.
Maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud.
Okay, go over them one by
1.
one.
Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43. 4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46.
Wait, which is
You
it?
don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. The cold must have preserved them. 5. Another standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace, same make of boot, but number 41.
Male or female?
Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped.
Pretty good at this,
You're
ain't I?
not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it, in a strange, beautiful way. 7. the glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. 8. And yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother, more worn.
How many?
8.
I was pretty off then. I counted 20.
Same guys are going back and forth.
I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary?
An aberration. One soul smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the old soul.
You have any ideas, Lieutenant?
Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
One of these people we could look for as a drummer?
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
Not thoughtfully.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no?
Yes, prudent. And light step, number 41.
A woman or a kid?
I don't think there's any way to be sure.
Understood. Anything else?
Heavy one, 200 kilogram print.
200? Could it be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
One of them was carrying him over.
Possibly, yes.
Marks it down in his
But
notebook.
why?
You're thinking, why did they have to carry him?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows.
Maybe the victim wasn't conscious.
Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between two men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you see?
How old do you think these tracks
A
are?
week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
How do you
I
know?
pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashon. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do you think happened here?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. This is easy.
I think we have a firm understanding of what happened
The
here.
lieutenant's eyes narrow. He's thinking to himself.
Either way. What else?
We've been through all of it. Alright, let's not get melancholy.
Kuno's got this!
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then
Oh yeah! Nappa Gumpy, Kuno!
Over your time,
Can't
please.
talk, pig. Shit's coming up strong.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous, you should hang out with this kid.
Yeah, Kuno, right then. Kuno's riding it, see? The rake! You should throw the rake! The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
Kim, what should we do?
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces.
What forces?
You will see.
The language these kids are using, pure unfettered id. There will be no reasoning with those creatures.
Let's ask the questions.
All right, entertain the Kuno.
The kid moves his hands like a busk. Irregular speech patterns. Overconfidence. Could this kid be on drugs? This warrants further investigation into this. Kuno.
Buddy, do you know what about it?
Shitload pig. Don't tell the pig.
This is where you quickly ask him questions. Real cop questions. Like a cop.
Do you know who he was?
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
So you don't know anything.
Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno's not a snitch, that's all. Trying to make the Kuno sing into the popo phone.
Do you know how it got up there?
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. I don't know. Some fucking Mesk or I don't know.
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp science fiction novel.
Why you gotta be riding Kuno's ass? You wanna know where Kuno was? Don't tell him that. It's not fucking lame. Lame? That's the name of Kuno City, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back. This shit ain't a...
It's impossible to deduce what it is about, at least for the moment. If it's important...
Just a couple of pig...
Yeah, you tell the faggoty Kuno.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost.
Alright.
Kuno doesn't fucking...
Alright. I really want to get the... Alright, so we auto-saved. That's good. Kids' ladders, rickety, but still climbable. Ladder for kids. Wouldn't hold the weight of a grown man. I was trying to grow herbs in this greenhouse. Got some stuff. Money gained. Winch mechanism has been oxidating for some years. Can't get there.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth.
Ugh.
You seem to be holding your breath.
Look
A
down.
cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
God, what is that? Why is it so bad?
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow. Cop's gonna blow, Kuno.
Turn away, leave. So can we get it down or? Oh, it's
This
the audio.
trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
Oh yeah, wasn't the wheelchair lady work there? Why am I looking at you, trash container? You're just a trash container.
Just a trash container. There is no such thing. Your fingers start to itch just looking at that padlock.
How do I get the padlock
We
open?
could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea.
Okay. Little R wears a crown on the ribbon of descending. Can we get the body down?
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes.
Unless I could ask the kid to get him down for me.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Discuss
The
body
fuck
location.
about it? Your test.
Get lost!
About the crime scene, do kids often play in this yard?
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Fuck do you want with it?
The ladder, ever climb it?
Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed.
So you would say that ladder is
Fuck
unclimbable?
does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
Okay, so they didn't use the ladder.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
What's in the greenhouse over there?
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
You mean the young woman by the whirling in rags, that gardener?
Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Looks you in the eye and nods, as if agreeing with himself.
Yeah, her. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of gardening is done in March? Fish is sometimes used to fertilize the soil a few weeks before planting something. Maybe she was preparing the garden beds.
Should ask her about that.
Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
I was wondering about that trash
Don't
container.
be wondering about Kuno's shit, pig.
Someone would have stashed something in there. Maybe it's even a
Yes,
lead.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Why the fuck are you telling this shit to Kuno?
Just wondering if you saw anything.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't fuck.
Okay.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Tell me, what exactly have you been doing in your greenhouse in March?
Well, this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow.
Disingenuous grandma. What nutrients?
Nitrogen and sulfur mostly. And whatever factories and aerostatics exhale too, I guess.
Squint your eyes and look intently.
All you can see is the fact that her skin is a different color from yours. You're going to run with that.
No! No! I don't... I don't know. Why? Okay, why? This game is like, this is pretty cool, and then it just sidelines you out of nowhere with the most atrocious stuff.
What does that mean?
She doesn't.
We should proceed with our business in Martinez.
Okay.
Hello again, sweetie. Oh, I'm perfectly all right. I'm more worried about you. What was that?
It's like my body had a will of its own. I was running, my torso turned, my hands made a lewd gesture. I'm sorry you had to witness it.
Don't beat yourself up over it too much, dear. People do strange things when the old fight or flight kicks in. I'm just glad you weren't injured.
Okay. So I do have to remember we need to be looking up. Okay, so I got to get the whirling in rags.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Main hall building, whirling in rags.
Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. Call box with an off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
It's the police. Please open the door.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were...
There's the sound of static that overrides her words.
The doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A. The driver started there, and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager.
What happened next?
The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building. Before heading south, must have been in a hurry.
Is this connected to the case?
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With the jam right here on the roundabout, I would keep them separate.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal there. See where they went, if you find the time.
Okay. Alright, speaking of time, let's not dilly-dally. I need to get the thing from this guy, I believe.
Can I help you?
Is that this trash can at the back yours?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
I wonder what this feeling
Prod
is.
at him and find out.
We need those
What
keys.
do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Okay. Okay.
This trash container is locked. With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
What's this?
Just a feeling. A warning from some part of you.
Open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Look under the box of cartons.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Dive
A
further.
box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Okay. Pick at the rag.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Grab them.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
Lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Bag
Guitar
trousers.
marked blue jeans. Pockets empty. Or empty. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the
the
container.
belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Reach for
A
it.
drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Bag the shirt.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything
He nods
more?
to himself.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
A thrown-out towel, a mug, that's
All
all.
right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Yeah, okay. Who says? Okay, proceed.
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Search the
It's
food
just
waste.
organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, what's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny, Looks like the corner of something.
Pick it up.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
Don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there.
A miserable looking slip of paper sticks onto the board.
If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
Going for the whirling, threw it in the trash? I don't know, boring.
Boring. Try dangerous. You should do a thorough inventory of that. Be sure some has not fallen into the hands of the RCM's enemies, organized crime or worse. Official notes sometimes contain informants' names, even undercover operatives.
Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
Okay. Read the ledger. How do I? Inventory. Character sheet. I think my inventory is there. Like I'm getting that mug too.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the Yellow Man frolicking in saffron.
An antique?
Only in its social sensibility.
Take the mug. And it briefly glances the bond that returns this site to the trash.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Close the
The
lid.
container sounds a muffled gong.
Pretty good. I'm a bit on edge because last time I played it, I talked to the kid a while, and then I got sad and quit my job. Ended me there. I'm glad I got a autosave, though.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
So far, I'm keeping it secret to myself that I have no memory. Okay. So we're gonna go talk to the dude now.
Can I help you?
Here's your trash container key.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
I found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Who else has keys? Could someone on your staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I
Sylvie
can vouch for her.
again.
I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Who else has keys to the trash
The
container?
trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a
I
fugue
think
state.
fugue states are more your forte, officer.
Look
Yes.
for something else. Okay. check my stuff. Interact. This is a ledger you found in the trash, full of notes written in man's dense cursive. Closer look, maybe you can be salvaged or start keeping notes on the keys.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Thank you, waterlogged ledger, for spelling it out for us.
Alright, browse the white pages.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is it? What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
Reaction speed. There was a mention of a naming convention
Yes.
here?
It appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Uka Parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Count the pages. I don't have an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But...
I want to ask him for... Kim, do you have a
The
pen?
lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Oh, just use this crappy pencil.
Absolutely motionless at first, then animated slowly, imperceptibly even. The lieutenant begins to browse his notes again. leaving you to the case files, onto the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording
I could
comes
tell he
easily.
liked them.
It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body, interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Across the ones you've
A
already finished.
satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion.
Harry?
Things to be done and things already done. The composition
Is that
of
my name?
reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the Citizens Militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our
No,
case?
actually. Any ideas?
The Hanged Man. It's on the nose, but it gets the point across.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Cool. New skill point. Ooh, what do we want to level up? Got 5 in intellect. What about my psyche? This is what got me last time. Volition, hold yourself together, keep morale up. I want to boost that so I don't... because last time that happened, it was like, blech. Oh, though we had a 0 in suggestion. As if I want to be manipulative, I don't know about that. But at least that will keep us a bit more. Okay. That's it.
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
It's like not in return to
Arson,
notes.
petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files, commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol, Precinct 41, Jamrock Quarter. You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Can I read the case files now?
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
How long does it take to read a
It
case?
takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
I could revisit this later.
Not much has changed in the
right
meanwhile.
now.
A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Alright. Browse the
In
yellow
the
papers.
back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are they?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct fine.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
I had 6.60 real.
But they appear pleasantly vague. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys.
Okay.
The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copy.
Okay. Alright, I auto-saved. So I got an hour down. Ugh. We're gonna have to end the stream here. At least we have some rolling along quite well. Kind of had to breeze through a bit of the stuff that I unfortunately didn't get through. Well, I had to repeat some stuff from last time because I got a game over before I got the next autosave. But they do have a quick save function, which I should remember to do in the future. Yeah, alright. So yeah, I'll be kind of playing this off and on every so often. Stuff's a bit busy, but if you're interested in seeing me play this a bit more, definitely keep an eye on my Twitch channel. See when I go live. I'll be alternating between this and some other games I have, though I don't really have anything else besides this one, because since I just finished Gris. There was the Stanley Parable, but I might do that on my own. And the only other one I have is The Sinking City, which is also kind of a detective-style type game. But I'm a bit more intrigued with this one. This kind of has a nice vibe to it that I'm really liking. The art style is pretty interesting. Also, what is the... I'm seeing on the left there the shimmering of the orange and the green. Pretty interesting. But yeah. Check my Twitch whenever I go live next. I don't know how... Does Twitch do... If Twitch do that does notifications? I would assume so. I don't do the app, so... yeah. Check my Twitch whenever I go live. I'll also eventually be uploading these edited to my YouTube as well. Link is, I think, on my channel. Same name, Molinara. But yeah. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. And hope everything's okay with you guys. For those who've checked in, watching me play. And, yeah. I'll see you guys later. Ciao, ciao.